What's the best part of having a child? I had my son when I was 17. My high school counselor pulled me into her office and told me I was throwing my future away. My mom cried for 3 days straight, wouldn't even look at me. The father, gone by month 4, just stopped answering texts one day like I was some girl he met at a party. I dropped out and got my GED online. Studied during nap time with my laptop balanced on a stack of library books because we didn't have a desk. I worked nights at this greasy diner on Route 9 where the cook always burned the fries and the owner paid me under the table. I'd come home at 2 in the morning smelling like old cooking oil, and Elijah would be asleep in his crib with his little fist curled around this stuffed giraffe my mom gave him before she stopped talking to me. I was exhausted all the time. Not the kind of tired where you sleep it off, the kind that lives in your bones. I'd fall asleep standing up sometimes, leaning against the bathroom sink brushing my teeth. I wore the same 3 shirts on rotation because laundry cost money. We ate a lot of pasta with butter, a lot of peanut butter sandwiches. On good weeks, I could afford the chicken nuggets Elijah liked. Our apartment was falling apart. The fan in the living room made this grinding noise but didn't actually spin. One of the kitchen chairs had a wobbly leg that I stuffed folded napkins under. The bathroom faucet dripped constantly, and the landlord kept saying he'd fix it but never did. I put a bowl under it to catch the water because I couldn't afford the bill going up. One night when Elijah was 3, I was sitting at our kitchen table staring at my GED practice test. I'd failed the math section twice already. My eyes kept closing. I had another shift in 5 hours. Elijah was supposed to be asleep, but he wandered out in his dinosaur pajamas, dragging his stuffed giraffe. He climbed into the chair across from me, just stared at me with those big brown eyes. "Why are you always so sleepy?" he asked. I tried to smile. My face felt heavy. "Because mommy's trying to make a better life for us, baby." He didn't say anything for a second. Then he slid off his chair and ran to his toy box in the corner. He came back with his plastic tool set, the one he got from a thrift store. He pulled out this tiny red screwdriver that squeaked when you pressed it. "Then I'm gonna fix everything," he said. And he just started walking around our apartment, fixing stuff. He went to the broken fan and poked it with his screwdriver, making beep beep noises. He crawled under the wobbly kitchen chair and tapped it a bunch of times. He stood on his tiptoes to reach the dripping faucet and twisted the toy screwdriver against it like he was actually doing something. I watched him, too tired to even tell him to go back to bed. Then he came over to me, put his small hand on my arm, pressed his squeaky screwdriver against my wrist like he was checking my pulse or something. "Fixed you're tired," he said, completely serious. I lost it, started laughing so hard I couldn't breathe, then I was crying, then laughing again. Elijah looked confused, but he was smiling too, probably because I was smiling. He climbed into my lap and hugged my neck with his skinny little arms. Nothing was actually fixed. The fan still didn't work, the chair still wobbled, the faucet still dripped. I still had to go to my shift in 5 hours, and I still hadn't passed that math test. But for the first time in months, I didn't feel broken. I held him until he fell asleep on my chest, his screwdriver still in his hand. I carried him back to his crib and just stood there watching him breathe. This kid who didn't ask to be born into a falling apart apartment with a mom who was barely holding it together. This kid who saw me exhausted and sad and decided his job was to fix it with a squeaky plastic screwdriver. I passed my GED 2 weeks later, got my diploma in the mail, and Elijah helped me open it. He was so excited even though he didn't really understand what it was. I framed it and hung it in our kitchen, right next to his drawing of us as superheroes.